So welcome, Bryant. It's so nice to have you on the podcast today. I've been really looking forward to this interview. Just to let the viewers know, I have sat in Bryant's ceremonies in the past, and I feel like we've come full circle. And actually, some of those teachings was the catalyst for this platform. So here
Mm.
we are. Thanks, Bryant.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Rhonda. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, yes. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, what were some of your early experiences or pivotal moments that led you to pursue the path of shamanism?
Yeah, it all started when I used to have severe chronic pain in my right foot, and it started when I was 16 years old, and it just progressively got worse and worse. I walked with a cane for many, many years.
Wow.
And then when I was 19, the doctors, they did everything they could, and including exploratory surgery and just everything. And their only um, option they had for me at the time was just pain management. So I was
Mm,
taking Oxycontin, and I got pretty hooked on that. And then their final option for me when I was 19 was amputation. And just they just couldn't figure out what was going on. There was no injury, no accident.
mhm.
And then yeah, so when I was 19, I had to make the call. Do I lose my leg, or do I start looking elsewhere? And so I decided to, start looking at alternative medicine. And that at that point in my life, I had no knowledge of alternative medicine. The doctor's word was the word of God kind of deal. And there only was Western medicine in my world at that time. And nor did I care about alternative medicine and shamanism, any of this. But once I started researching a little bit about alternative medicine and eventually came to shamanism, it really resonated with me because I, the whole idea with shamanism is that you have to walk the path.
Mm,
Somebody can't come and remove something from you or fix you. You actually have to walk the path of continuously confronting yourself and confronting your, deepest, darkest shadow. And I figured, well, eventually, I would figure out what was going on with my leg, and
yeah.
that brought me to ayahuasca.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, was there a lot of probably some pretty nasty withdrawals from pain management with Oxycontin and whatnot?
Yeah, there's a lot of drug history in my family,
Oh,
and
okay.
I hid it from my mom, and so
Mm,
she eventually found out, and I just saw the look on her face when she realized how much I was taking, and it just devastated her, and
mm,
I just quit cold turkey. I couldn't do that to her. My mom was never into drugs. She's very, very clean. Like, but
mhm.
my birth father side of the family, a lot of drugs and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, it wasn't even that. I mean, it was terrible, but it's all I knew. Because my whole life was just kind of felt like that at the time.
Yeah. Was there a history of drugs with you prior to the your foot, or was it due to the prescription?
I, I was more into marijuana and alcohol.
Mm,
I smoked marijuana every day, and I drank quite often. But I was always scared of the hard drugs. I was always
yeah.
scared of psychedelics too, to be honest.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, and just like with our conversation earlier, I work in a treatment facility, a treatment
That's
recovery
right.
facility. And, there's a lot of childhood trauma, the adverse
Hmm.
childhood experiences that lead to addiction. But however, there's got to be a good percentage of people there that their addiction started with a prescription.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
my brother was actually the one that kind of saved me more or less from that because he
Mm,
had just gotten out of rehab, and he confronted me about the pills, and he said the majority of the people in the rehab were there for
yeah.
Oxycontin and Percocets.
Yes, yes. It's a hard one
Yeah,
to get off sometimes too, especially now with
absolutely.
all the black market fentanyl and whatnot. I heard it's just like your bones are trying to escape your body, is some of the descriptions.
Ooh.
It's nasty, yeah.
Ooh.
So you found holistic medicine, you found the ayahuasca. So
Yeah.
can you describe a turning point then when you realized that plant medicine would define your life's work?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was years in the making, really. But
Mm-hmm. Ah,
the first time I went down, I was 21, and it just changed my life. I went down to Peru for a month,
yeah.
and spent a month with the Shipibos, and then
Mm,
it showed me the way. It showed me the light, and I was at a point in my life where it's just I wasn't doing anything with my life. I was just drinking and going nowhere fast and just deep in depression. And then, yeah, I went down to Peru, and like I said, the medicine just showed me the way, showed me the light. It was very clear with me that you're going to have to walk it. You're going to have to do the work. We can't do the work for you, but this is what your life could look like. And when I got home, I was on cloud nine for like 6 months. I remember just my whole life just changed. But then inevitably I went down. I fell back. But yeah, it just touched my life so deeply and just
yeah.
felt like a magnetic pole that I couldn't escape. And so
Ah,
I
yes.
just continued following that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do hear a lot of other testimonies as well when it comes to having these really profound experiences. Like even for
Hmm.
myself, I just got this like extreme calling that I wanted to
Hmm.
work with the medicine. So it's really difficult sometimes to distinguish whether or not that's an actual true spiritual calling or
Hmm.
maybe part of the ego, right? Because we do see a lot of people that visit Peru or other parts
Hmm.
that get these callings,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden they're immersed in like an 8-week course to be a shaman.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts around that? Because I do believe it's kind of a rites of passage.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's such a great question. Is it an actual call or is it the ego? And I think it really
Yes.
depends on like what is being called, and like what
Mm,
is your reason for wanting to work with the medicine. Intention is everything, right? And
yes.
so if we're just wanting to become a shaman, well, are we wanting to become a shaman for the right reasons?
Yeah.
And the medicine calls us, and if we truly hear the call, we will answer to the call. But yeah, like if you, yeah, I guess it really comes down to what your reasons are, what your intention is. And, it's you touched on such a great point there. Like there's so many people that do go down to the Amazon, and it has become a commercialized industry.
Yes.
And there's actually a lot of natives in the Amazon where they don't even have access to medicine or the medicine people, because all the medicine and the medicine people are at the retreats helping all of us Westerners. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of the ways that they harvest the medicine is unsustainable. They just wild harvest without replanting. And so
Yeah.
the actual plant is potentially at risk for extinction.
Um, yeah, and that makes me a little uneasy for sure because, I had such a profound experience myself that we need to keep it sacred.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she is a plant spirit and there's so much history to it. So
Yeah.
when you were getting into your walk, the pursuit of the path, what were some
Yeah.
of the personal challenges or even skepticism maybe from community and or the indigenous lineages? Imagine you probably had a little bit of both.
The skepticism,
Yeah.
more so not so much from the indigenous
Mhm.
community. I mean, the Shipibos, they're quite welcoming in that way.
Ah, okay.
And if they see the dedication, then they want to feed that. Definitely from family and from like my old group of friends for sure. And also, like my family was very very supportive, but I was 20 years old, going down to the Amazon, drinking jungle juice that none of them knew anything of, and so for sure
Yeah.
they're like, "What the hell is he doing?" But
Yeah.
once they actually started seeing the growth in me, then they got behind it for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't say there was a ton of skepticism that I had to deal with externally. It was more so internally, whether or not
Okay.
I could do it. And my uncle was actually one of my main supports, where he really pushed me to pursue the path, because
Interesting.
I didn't think that a gringo, a Westerner, could actually walk the path of Shipibo traditional path. And he just questioned that belief. And so it was actually that conversation that gave me the courage to actually start to walk it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
excellent. I love that. Yeah, because
yeah,
I've worked alongside a couple other shamans, not physically, personally, just online. Like I took a plant medicine mystery school not that long ago, and she's also a Westerner, but she's spent 2 decades in Peru now. And
mm,
she's encountered a few of the indigenous tribes that are like, no, like Westerners shouldn't be touching this. It's
mm,
sacred. It goes back
mm.
lineages. And then the other 50% are like, no, the Westerners are sick. They need this.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like, I totally resonate with both. Like, I totally
Hmm.
get that. Like, it is such a sacred plant, and it is so sacred to them. And
Yeah.
it's not of our lineage. It's their lineage, their
Hmm.
medicine. And I think what's really sad is that some of them don't even have access to their medicine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That part I it really hits home. And I really, yeah. But and then I also do resonate with, like, no, like, we just need to learn. We just
Yeah.
need to learn, like, what's actually going on, and not just romanticize this whole thing, because there's a whole, the healing side to the ayahuasca is one,
Mhm.
like, one side to it. There's a whole other world that's happening behind.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, I would like to believe, that the Westerners, I mean, we're the ones that have the virus of the mind.
Mm,
Wetiko, some would call it, right? Where
hmm
it's just like this separation and greed and consumption. And, I think that the medicine it helps us see that, hey, we are all one. We're
mm,
one with the planet, we're one with each other, and we have to stop destroying each other.
that's right. Yep,
Yeah. And I found the medicine, it brings a very powerful message around that.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you care to speak on some of the origins of the sacred plants? Like, how long does this date back?
Well, no one really knows. No one really knows.
Mm.
And the story is very, tribe to tribe, lineage to lineage. But
Yeah.
what I've been told is that the ayahuasca goes back to the Incas,
Oh,
like,
yes.
thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
Thousands. And what I've been told is that the Incas actually passed the ayahuasca down to the Shipibos. And so,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. So the wisdom that the Shipibos carry are ancient, very, very,
Yes.
very, very old.
Yeah, and I did read somewhere that I think in a wood ceremonial cup, they found traces residual of ayahuasca that dated back 2,500 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, but shamanism goes back way further.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One of the oldest.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, if the Incas passed it down to the Shipibo, do you think that that was due to colonialism? Like, were they, because I know the Shipibo, is it true that they escaped colonialism?
No, no,
No?
they were definitely affected for sure. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. They actually, when they went through a period where the conquistadors took away their medicine, so they have these. They're called telas. It's like the Shipibo patterns.
Mhm. Oh,
So
yes,
they
I
would
have
have,
one right there.
yeah. So they have cloaks that they wear. They're called kushmas, and
Hmm.
the men typically wear the kushma, and the women wear the tela, which is looks like just like a big, it's like a big skirt that just has the weave, the all the
Yeah.
patterns. During the time where they didn't have any access to their medicine, they would just wear these telas and dress themselves in their tapestries, and this is how they would connect to their medicine. Because each one of those patterns is either a plant, it's either a bird, it's a song of some sort. And so this is actually how they would connect to the medicine during the dry. The dry.
Yeah, that's amazing. So now, like with the healing part of ayahuasca, Dr. Gabor Maté speaks a lot about how humans are multidimensional and that we need to heal multidimensional. We need to heal on the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, and even some of the ancestral layers that we carry within us. And going back
Mhm.
to the Western pharmacology, I find that, I mean, hey, they've got good medicine.
For
I
sure.
mean, especially for trauma. Like if you get, I heard this, I'm repeating this. If you get bit by a snake, you're probably not going to go to a shaman. You're probably going to go to
Mm.
the ER,
For
right?
sure.
And then maybe to the shaman to figure out why the snake bit you. But do you want to speak a little bit on that multi-dimensional healing with the plant medicine?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all one, physical and mental, right? There's
Yeah.
spirit, body, mind, can't separate it. And it's such a great topic because we do separate it so often. And this is where,
Yes.
we get lost in the spiritual bypass, and we see it
Mhm.
so often. I mean, like if we are truly aligned with our spirit, we're going to be healthy.
Yeah.
If we're disconnected from our spirit, we're gonna suffer because that's the source. That's our umbilical cord to source. And our
Yes.
body and our bodies are our vehicle. It's our vehicle to accomplish what we're here to accomplish, our soul's mission and or our life's mission. And if our body suffers, then we're not going to be we're not going to be able to fulfill our purpose. So we have to take
Yeah.
care of the body, and our mind is one of our greatest tools. A mind
Yes.
that's centered and rooted, connected to the heart and connected to our higher selves, our souls, is our greatest tool. We can accomplish anything. And
Yeah.
it can also create disease too. So a mind that,
Yes.
right, a mind that's weak and just chaotic, then it's going to turn on us.
Yes. Yes. And working in a treatment recovery facility, there is a lot of medication. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not at a level to tell them that they should go on medication or take them off of medication. But it is a bit frustrating, though, right? Because when we're working with trauma, like I understand if somebody's really dysregulated and their feelings are way out here, and we have to
Mm,
get them here to even start doing the work.
mm,
I can maybe understand that, but however, the medication keeps them here, keeps
mm,
them numb, keeps them kind of almost disassociated,
mm,
slow. And then like I feel like we don't feel any of those big feels that we need to move through
mm.
in order to get into the deep healing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like you said, I think it really depends on the person. If they just really need help reining it in,
Hmm.
Western medicine could have its place, but
Yes.
ultimately it's the release, it's learning how to feel. If we're just all if our emotions are so big, we just never learned how to be with them, the charge is going to be so intense, so intense. It really depends on what sort of complexities the person carries, right? Like
Yeah.
what sort of traumas they're carrying, and yeah, so that's where Western medicine could help to kind of rein it in, so that we can, we put out the fire, manage the fire, so that we can actually start to work with the fire, right?
I love that. Yeah. And I do believe the Native Americans, they say, like bring on the buffalo spirit and go
Mm,
through the storm.
mm, mm,
But unfortunately, we're usually under resourced and it's a lot, right? Because if somebody does get dysregulated and it becomes unmanageable, then we could have a bigger problem on our hands too.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, but I have talked to several individuals, former military, even where they were on lots of different medications, and they tried a mindful microdosing program
Mm,
to get off of the medications, and then went to sit with Mother Aya. Yeah, and they've
yeah,
never looked back. All medications gone, all 26 a day. Can you imagine 26 different medications a
that's
day?
crazy. It's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a number of vets that have come to ceremony and similar thing, like they've tried everything and just nothing could help.
Yeah.
But they did. I don't know if they microdosed, but they did what they had to do in order to come to ceremony, and it,
Mhm.
yeah, it just changed their lives.
Yeah. And you even look at ADHD because I have a lot of clients that are like, I need ADHD meds and,
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceutical speed, let's just call it what it is.
Totally, totally.
And a lot of ADHD symptoms are actually PTSD symptoms.
Mm,
How are you supposed to focus if, you're constantly in that survival mode? And then also
totally.
dopamine deficiency. Man, are
Yeah,
we ever a culture that is addicted to these things, right?
yeah, totally, Totally. It's all about
Yeah.
dopamine. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, how can some of these multi-dimensional teachings be woven into the fabric of everyday life?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a
Mhm.
very good question. Well, it's the small steps, right? It's the things that we could do, the little things that we do every day. So, what can we
Yes.
do to feed our spiritual side, right? What can we do to nourish our bodies? What can we do to nourish our minds?
Yes.
Right? What are some things getting out in nature, relationships? This feeds the spirit, feeds the heart.
Yeah.
What can we do to feed the mind, to nourish the mind? It could be, like you said, taking away the phones, taking away the news, the stuff like that. Just focusing on things that are actually going to benefit you in your life,
Mhm.
aid you in the life that you're wanting to create, and yeah, taking care of your body.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, the little steps. Not don't get too overwhelmed, because like that's one
Mhm.
of the main reasons people just give up on their own personal healing or transformation journey is because they get too overwhelmed, they put too much stuff on their plate, and
Mhm.
they want to become their future version of them now. And because transformation takes time, they give up. So it's the small steps that we make on a consistent basis. This creates
Yeah.
the real change.
Yeah.
The
We
woman I
try to.
see,
I'm
sorry,
sorry. Go ahead.
the woman I see in Peru, she says that the way that she explains healing is that it takes no time to get sick, but it takes
Mm,
time to heal. So just
so
the small,
true.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that with our daily busy lives, there's so many distractions, and I think that's part of the dis-ease. We wake up first thing in the morning and check our social media, and that's something I actually wanted to ask you because you just recently got on
yeah,
social media, and I was actually quite surprised.
yeah,
How
me
are you
too.
are you feeling about that? Do you find that you kind of go down the rabbit hole, or is it very rigid and very much a tool?
Yeah, well, I was actually very surprised that I got onto it too.
I
But
was happy. I was so happy to see you and Asia both on social media.
well, I started it for my business, for my
Hmm.
coaching business, and but no, I'm very disciplined with it. Like I don't go down the rabbit hole. It's not for personal use. It's like
Hmm.
it's just for my business. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like I never resonated with Instagram at all. But
Hmm.
now I see it totally different. Like
Hmm.
it's how we use it. It's a tool, right? It could be used for
Yeah.
distraction. It could be used to ruin your life, and it could be used to like just create an illusion, or it can be used to promote positivity and help people. And it's a tool.
Yes, agreed. Uh, it's interesting because if I do catch myself, and I do because I'm very self aware,
Mm.
when I do catch myself doom scrolling in 20, 30 minutes, I don't even feel good.
Yeah,
Like physically not
yeah,
good, like a lost motivation. I've got a
totally,
big day planned ahead of me, and then I'm like, I don't even want to go outside. I'm like, wow, this thing
totally.
is, it can be quite toxic. And at the facility where I work too, the men there have a phone restriction, so they're not allowed any phones for 3 months. And when they finally get their phones back, I see an immediate shift in their moods.
Really?
Well, impulsivity, a bit of depression, not motivated. There's a little bit of irritability. And I always
Wow.
call them on it. I always tell them, hey, it's your phone. And they don't want to believe me. So then I go down the spiel of the dopamine and whatnot. And they're finally
Totally.
starting to listen. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
my kids, my twins, they're 4 years old, and we've, they can watch shows every now and then, but nothing crazy. And I mean, the shows that they watch is like basically guys building little structures in the woods kind of deal.
Oh, I
But
love
they,
that.
but once they're like, even if they watch like a half hour or an hour, they turn into monsters. It's like they go through complete withdrawals. It's
Yes.
wild. It's wild the
Yeah.
effect that it has on our brain.
Yeah, it really is. And I do believe it's like a social experiment. It's designed to addict us.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
shows that my kids will watch where it makes them cry. It's like
Yeah.
they're super, super sensitive. And so there's the shows that like they're designed to just keep the kids' attention all the time. And so
Yeah.
the frames move really fast. The colors are super bright and bold. Those
Yeah.
shows make my kids really sad. It makes them really upset.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really love Andrew Huberman. He's a
Mm,
neuroscientist, and he actually breaks it down scientifically what's happening in our brains. And
mm,
we were designed to kind of go from the house to the yard to the field to the forest to the mountains. And now, within 30 minutes, we can be exposed to over 10,000 images.
mm,
And each one of them, we're getting a dopamine hit. So
mm,
eventually we fall below baseline, and then now we just don't feel the joy in anything. And I
mm,
can sense that. I can feel that,
mm.
like when I was saying earlier about the doom scrolling. So thank God that people now are starting to become more aware of this, and there's a lot of professionals out there like Jonathan Haidt that are speaking out against this. And now they're starting to take the phones out of the schools and whatnot because it's actually rewiring children's brains and it's damaging.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's the thing. And that's why I love these platforms. We can educate too.
totally. But
Yeah.
it's a tool, right? It could be used to benefit, to aid, and it can be used to as a hindrance too.
Yeah. So, with now the plant medicine experience, what are some of the common themes that happen in ceremony? Like, for example, existentialism and meaning, like when you're confronted with mortality, unity, and cosmic intelligence. Did you want to speak on that?
Yeah, like what happens, you mean?
Yeah, like what are some of the experiences that maybe yourself have had, or I know my experiences. It's
Hmm.
changed my whole perspective on life and
Totally,
death.
totally, totally. I think what really, I guess was, I guess the stages for me, how it happened for me was the first stage was more of like confronting and the deconditioning. So just coming to terms with who I was and what I was carrying, and then yeah, just like, you know, take me to the grave and coming to grips with the reality of death,
Yes.
and then, you know, the surrender that comes with that, and then, you know, everything, the life that comes after that, you know, who we actually are. You know, ayahuasca, it really teaches. The name of ayahuasca is, it means the vine of the dead, the vine of the soul. So it very much
Mm,
teaches us about death and teaches us about,
yes.
you know, who we actually are, what we actually are on the other side of this life after this body. And so it's an incredible opportunity to learn how to, if we can come to terms with death in this life, then we can learn how to live our life to the fullest.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Because I even had my own experience with the dying, the death part. And it
Hmm.
was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little bit scary at first, but what it did teach me is that we don't want to take this with us. Any of these
Totally,
wounds, resentments, conflict, any
totally.
of these worldly things that divide.
Mm,
And that's kind of what it taught me is that I don't want to take this with me to the other side. And
mm.
are we at liberty to talk about maybe other clients' experiences? Obviously, no names mentioned, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
If you
sure.
want to,
I
yeah.
just I just remember being in ceremony with a lady that I do believe was terminally ill,
Mm,
and she was really really afraid of dying. She
mm,
was afraid of
mm,
death. And
mm,
after ceremony when she did the group share, there wasn't a dry eye in there
mm,
because she said how beautiful it was and that she was
mm,
not afraid anymore and that she was going to
mm.
come back. And here's somebody that's never touched anything in her entire life, like not even
Yeah,
cannabis, right?
yeah,
Man, it was so profound, her share.
yeah. It's so common, right? And I mean,
Mm,
at the end of it, typically what we realize is that the only thing that we were scared of is letting go of our fear,
mm,
you know. And when
yeah.
we can learn that, we can actually learn how to let go of that fear. That's when the light can really come. And
Yeah. Yeah, it was and I mean there's so many testimonies about that. And a lot of
Mm,
people too, they talk about the ego death. I don't really
mm,
like to call it ego death. I feel maybe dissolution maybe a little bit, but
mm.
what are your thoughts on that? I feel like we need our ego.
Yeah, for sure we need an ego.
Keeps us
We
in
we
check.
yeah, totally. We all live as a certain identity. We all identify as something, and that identification is the truest sense of the ego. And so, to be a human being, you need to identify as something, whether it's a father, whether it's a partner, or a healer,
Mm-hmm.
worker, whatever it is. You identify with
Yeah.
something, you take on the role of that. As an ego, it really depends. But what unhealthy relationship the ego is like, what's the purpose of that role, of that identity? Is it productive, or is it destructive?
Yes.
And so the ayahuasca really makes us confront our egos, because most of us aren't actually using our egos in a constructive way. It's the ego runs us, and the ego is actually meant to be to serve our higher purpose and our higher growth, our higher mission. And in that relationship, it's an incredible servant. It's an incredible tool. The other way around, it's disastrous. And so the ayahuasca really makes us confront that part of us.
Yes. Yes, agreed. Yeah, one thing I bring into my sessions, my counseling sessions, is the ego defense mechanisms.
Mm,
And man, like there's so many of them that we're living, like denial and justification, rationalization, even sublimination. And like, do you study Freud at all? Do you like the id, the superego, and the ego defense mechanisms?
no.
Yeah, it really makes a lot of sense to me. And when you talk about like transpersonal
Mm.
psychology, are you familiar with like the Carl Jung transpersonal stuff?
Familiar with Carl Jung, but not the
Yeah.
transpersonal, no.
Yeah, it's just like studying like the non-ordinary states of consciousness. And I feel like indigenous tribes all over the world have always studied non-ordinary states of consciousness, whether it be through breath work, fasting, chanting, drumming, dancing, and plant medicine, of course.
Hmm.
And I just find that in these altered states of consciousness, there's a lot of common themes that come up, like inner child, the shadow
Yeah,
self,
totally.
ancestral imprints, and even the archetypes. Where do you think shamanism fits into all of that?
Well, I think shamanism just is that.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that. Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think shamanism just is that. To truly walk that path is to learn, all of that, to learn all of you. And in
Yes.
order to learn all of you, you have to go into the shadow. You have to
Hmm.
confront the ancestral um, skeletons,
Yes.
and then learn how to transmute it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that word transmute.
And the transmutation is just really how I see transmutation is really just bringing your own awareness and your own consciousness to that, and it's just shifting from the unconscious to the conscious.
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung both studied a lot of the indigenous tribes. Like if you looked at Sigmund Freud's desk, which is still in Austria or somewhere, I think they've made a museum out of it, but he had
Mm.
probably every deity, like little figurines, like, yeah, of every deity from every tribe, every philosophy, every
Wow.
religion. So they were studying non-ordinary states of consciousness a long, long time ago. I mean, they
Wow.
were in the 1800s. And
Wow.
even Stanislav Grof, too, who is like a Freud and Carl Jung analyst. And he talks about transpersonal psychology a lot. And Stanislav Grof?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love his teachings.
Mm.
Like he was one of the
Mm.
very first pioneers, I do believe, with psychedelic therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's just interesting how it's been carried forward through a lot of generations.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now part of the plant medicine experience too is a lot of somatic awareness.
Hmm.
Yeah. The body holds trauma and memory.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
was your experience with that?
Yeah, so the ayahuasca teaches in many different ways. One is through the vision, other is
Mm,
also through the body, the felt perception. And so anything that's locked, been stored and locked away in the body, ayahuasca works to unravel that a bit. And so that we can, learn how to feel it, learn how to develop a relationship with it, and ultimately learn how to release it.
right.
But yeah, it opens it up, it amplifies it all, and it makes it so it's just undeniable. Then you just learn how to work with it in the
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. Did you have a painful experience with your leg though, with your foot when you were in the medicine?
Yeah, years. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 Especially as working as a practitioner, you're
Hmm.
picking up other people's traumas and demons. It can get
Mm.
very, very painful for sure.
Interesting. I often wondered about that, like, because
Yeah,
when you're in the journey with your clients, with the people that are there experiencing, you do take a lot of that energy on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's when the
Oh
demon
yeah,
spray comes out.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, for sure. And and that's why it's this path especially is such a hard path to walk because
Hmm.
it is so hard and there's when you're working on people you're taking on all the shadow and everything that lives
Yeah.
in there and it's not the ceremonies that's the hard part, it's the nights afterwards,
Mm.
when the demons that come try to get you on the nights off, when you're trying to sleep, that's when they
That's
really come.
profound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when they really come. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of demons, Bryant, I'm not gonna hold back here. Like every single one of my experiences in ceremony have been very demonic.
Mm,
It was terrifying. Like I'm
mm,
terrified of ayahuasca. Like I don't even want to go again, but I will.
yeah.
But and so how do you kind of like what is the level of spiritual discernment? Like how do you tell what's a real entity or what's in your mind or what's even in the collective? Like are you able to discern from that?
Yeah, I mean, like, because they're all kind of one and the same, really.
Are
I
they?
mean,
Yeah.
well, like, if you really look at it, like, the bigger picture, are
Mhm.
demons actually real,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, if we look at, again, like, the bigger picture, the cosmic
Mhm.
perspective,
Yeah.
is there such a thing as the devil,
Yeah.
right? Is there such a thing as demons? And
Yes.
so, like, where we live right now, why do demons exist?
Mm. Yeah.
They teach us, they're teachers. They keep us, they show us about ourselves. They show us our own selves, the demons that we carry. Why do we carry them? Carry them from things that we carry from the past, our ancestors. When we're walking a path of light, there's demons there try to take us off. These
Yeah.
demons are necessary. You need that in order to stay the course. And
Mm.
then also the mind too. I mean, like, fear in itself, those entities, those spirits will latch onto the fear. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's sometimes we can fabricate something out of nothing. So
Right.
there's definitely, like, you definitely got to learn how to just be able to center yourself and feel
Mhm.
into your intuition and what's going on in the moment. But I mean, as far as, like, being able to discern, is it coming from a particular person? Is it just in the space as a collective, just in the
Mhm.
space coming, just a energy trying to throw us off course?
Mhm.
Or is it something that I'm carrying?
Mm. Mhm.
It's, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a mix of it all.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the residual energy for me was because of my checkered past.
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
made me realize what type of energy was orchestrating that lifestyle. And
Hmm.
after that ceremony, I was like, you don't even want to dip a toe into that.
No,
No,
no.
and you helped me clear some of that energy. And you actually
Mm.
said that the next day is like, I'm going to help you clear some of that energy. And then my heart sunk because I was, oh, I'm in for it. Yeah, it
Mm.
was a very challenging ceremony after. And one thing too, I want to kind of touch on too, because you did mention that you take on a lot of that energy, and sometimes it can kind of come back and attack you,
Mm.
And there was a ceremony that I went into it with the intention of showing me what it was actually like to work with the medicine,
Mm.
and it was chaos that night.
Mm.
And I will be totally transparent here, but I kind of put you on a bit of a pedestal after that
Mm.
because I was like, wow, I can't believe the work that this man has to do in order
Mm.
to clear that energy, keep us safe
Mm.
from all of the things that are trying to energetically infiltrate us or whatever it might be. So I'm sure you come across that a lot where people
Mm.
that hero archetype maybe. How do
Yeah,
you set those boundaries? How do you stay humble in that?
I just know it's not. I mean, I get it because I do
Mm-hmm.
the same and I have done the
Mm,
same. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, we all have our gifts, right?
right.
And how do I stay humble in it? I had my first teacher, he was a really great teacher in that way, where he just taught me how to walk the path and
Mm-hmm.
with humility what that actually meant. But ultimately, just knowing it's not me. It's not
Yeah.
even me. Like, yeah, you have to devote yourself to the path and you have to do the work. But ultimately, it's not even me.
Yeah.
It's the medicines that are doing the work. It's ultimately it's God, right? It's not. We're just the vessel. Our job is to just become a clear vessel for the work
Yeah.
to be done.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm sure you've probably had to set boundaries from codependency and other, people that are leaning on you a little bit. I'm sure it's
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So how can seekers honor the shamanic lineage without slipping into idol worship?
That's a great question. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's so common that it
Mm-hmm.
happens. I think probably the majority do, and also not even just Westerners. I mean, traditional shamans or healers, practitioners, whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
very common. And again, I think it really just comes back to what's your intention. Are you truly, truly wanting to help people heal?
Mm.
Are you
Yes.
truly wanting to is that like the core of it? Because yeah, like even me when I first started, like I look back now and be like, oh yeah, no, there was definitely like I used to want to be a professional drummer, right? Like
Oh
to
yeah.
get on stage and start playing in front of a bunch of people, and so there definitely was an aspect of that for sure. Like you glamorize the work, and you see the practitioners doing what they're doing, and yeah, I look back and for sure there was an aspect of that, but that wasn't my main driver because I think if you just walk this path in a real traditional sense, unless your real core intention is to serve and really learn and to heal, you probably just won't last
Right.
because it's so hard, right?
Yes, and I do really feel like we're in a timeline right now where the veil is getting lifted and we're starting to see more of this spiritual bypassing and the gurus and some of these spiritual leaders that are actually quite corrupt. I think
Mm,
that now they're starting to get exposed.
for sure.
Have you kind of witnessed that in your own journey?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like my first teacher, he was responsible for bringing ayahuasca to Canada like
yeah,
15 years ago or so. But now, like, there's everybody, like, there's so many people that are pouring. pouring ceremony, and a lot of them are
Yeah.
just like totally unprepared. They're just it's totally unethical, and
Yeah.
they don't know what they're doing. They're just throwing up like a lot of them. Yeah, there's not really the traditional ceremonial aspect to it,
Yes.
and ayahuasca in particular is just such a different realm, and
Yes.
there's so many things that can go, hairy in a ceremony, and if you don't
Yeah.
know how to correct that or how to ensure that the safety of the group,
Hmm.
you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, and I really like that you said that. Like there is a lot of responsibility, ethical responsibility that comes with that. And I'll just share a quick little story of something that I just heard recently of somebody who was on the path of shamanism, and he so-called channeled the mushroom spirit to figure out how much he was going to dose this lady in a psilocybin journey. And here's somebody that's never done psychedelics a day in her life, and he gave her over 12 grams, and she had a complete nervous system blowout,
Ooh,
and had to actually go for retraining, rewiring, because it
oh my
dysregulated
God.
her so bad, re-traumatized her. So when you said that
No,
things in ceremony can go really sideways, yes, and you need to know
yeah,
how to hold that space.
right. That's right. And it's just like it's painting a bad rep for the medicine too. I mean, like
Yes,
our job was to become the shining example of what this medicine is and represent this
yes.
medicine in a good way, and honor the traditions in a good way. And, yeah, like I said, there's so many irresponsible facilitators now, and it's probably contributed, but I mean, there's been a lot of cases where the law is cracking down in Canada, especially. Yeah, I mean, that's actually maybe part of the silver lining, and with all that is because there just is so many irresponsible facilitators. Maybe it'll just thin out some of the weeds.
Yeah, it's time to do a reset.
A reset.
Yeah, give ayahuasca a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
She's been working really hard. Have you seen any instances of exploitation and fraud, even in Peru? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more common than not.
mhm,
And
okay,
yeah, I mean, like the first place that I went to, the shaman, he got into it because he realized how lucrative that industry was.
there we
Yeah,
go. Yeah,
yeah. Like, you know, like I was saying, the healing part to ayahuasca is just one side to it. There's a whole other world.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and I did hear somewhere too that just recently some of the tribes have been introduced to like Starlink. So now they have cell phones and internet and all of the things. And it wasn't very long that they started notice huge shifts in attitude and moods and all of the things because they became addicted because something they've never really seen before.
Sorry, I thought you said, did you say ceremony? They have Starlink now in ceremony?
Oh, no, no, just that they've been introduced to Starlink, like within the community.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe internet's been there for a long, long time, but I think now being even more accessible, like, is that a good thing or
Yeah.
a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what type of red flag, green flags would you recommend for seekers then when choosing practitioners and or even a retreat center?
It's a really good question.
Mm,
I mean, so because even if it comes from a trusted place, and
mm-hmm,
you just never know what they're doing in ceremony. Like, if unless you speak Shipibo, or not even just Shipibo, unless you speak their language, know exactly what they're doing in ceremony.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've just heard so many cases where it's just, uh, um, trusted sources, like just,
Yeah.
you know. but like I said, even then, it's like you just never know.
Yeah.
There's a couple places that I would recommend in Peru,
Hmm.
and that's it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm glad we're having this talk today, Bryant, because if the viewers, if you're watching, trust in this, right? I have personally sat in your space. I have never felt so protected and safe and
Mm,
sacred, right? And even
mm,
all of your guardians too, like your facilitators, you've got
mm,
Asia and I could name off a ton more too. And wow,
mm,
watching them in action, like when
mm,
that night when I was saying that the room erupted when I went in with the intention that I wanted to see what it was like to work with the medicine. Like it was sideways. I felt it was sideways. But watching all of you go to work, I was like, wow. I was watching people put little, fuzzy blankets on people and holding their hand, and everybody was so calm and everybody was just doing their thing. And I was like, wow, this is incredible.
yeah.
So yeah, it was quite the experience.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like ceremony. I remember when first started with my old teacher,
Hmm.
we'd have ceremonies of like 30 people. And when I first started working, there would be my teacher, another apprentice, and myself, sometimes another one. So at times
Hmm.
it'd be four people all singing, Shipibo at the same time working.
Hmm.
And some of those nights, oh yeah, almost every person, all 30 people would be just losing it.
I was just losing it. Yeah, and that's a lot of energy too. Like how are you after ceremony? Like you must be just physically, mentally, emotionally just drained.
During the retreats, not so much. Not
Not
so
so
much.
much. Yeah.
No, but it's probably the week afterwards, yeah.
Hmm.
Just it
Yeah.
takes me about a week to like fully come back.
So what would you say to somebody like me then that wants to apprentice?
I would say beautiful. It's incredible that you're feeling the call.
Yes.
It's a beautiful, beautiful path. And, apprenticing could look like many different things. You don't actually have to facilitate to be apprenticing. If you feel like that is in your cards, great. You just go
Hmm.
slow.
Yeah.
Diets, years of dieting.
The dietas.
Yeah, the dietas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I first started, it was don't even focus on the actual work in ceremony,
Hmm.
just focus on diets, years of
Yeah.
dieting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not even saying like I want to pour the medicine. I just want to be a
yeah,
part of it, whether it be
for sure.
integration, like an integration counselor, a guardian.
Yeah.
I felt at home in that space. And I just really wanted to know what to do next. I actually reached out to your mentor because he was part
Oh
of the
yeah.
resources. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a need of people that are in integrity that will
hmm.
represent this work in a good way. And yeah, just learn from the past
Okay,
and then learn how you can just weave that into your life. So
yeah,
like to become an apprentice of ayahuasca,
hmm,
it's you can learn how to weave these teachings and this medicine that you acquire into all areas of your life,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's so true. You kind of got to walk that path and stay on it,
Yeah,
with integrity and respect and all of the things. It's hard. It's
totally.
not as easy as people think,
No, not
right?
at all.
Right? Because you can come out of ceremony and get this really profound message that, oh, I'm not going to eat, let's just say pork, right? And then 3 weeks later, there's bacon on your cheeseburger.
Yeah,
So it's those little things.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the straight and narrow. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, what are your offerings now, Bryant? Like, because I know you've got some containers like self mastery, the golden
Hmm.
paradigm. Like,
Hmm.
how do the viewers? What?
Yeah, so like I would say probably about a year and a half ago or so, I really started feeling the call to start working on the integration side of this work.
I
And
love it.
because like
Yeah,
that's everything.
it is.
Integration is everything. Unless you are actually applying the teachings, then you can spend a whole lifetime, working on the same thing. And I see it. I see it's very common. You know, people that have been coming to ceremony for say 10 years, or some of them are still working on the same thing. And
Mm,
when it gets to that point, we got to ask ourselves, well, what are we using the medicine for? And if
yeah.
we're not actually integrating. And so I saw such a huge demand and need for that. And so I started feeling that call to start working on that. And so
Mm-hmm.
I have a company called Golden Age Academy. And so
Mm,
it really
mm-hmm.
focuses on that. And through my 4 month program called Self Mastery, where it's like, it's applying the very basic steps but just with consistency. And so, yeah, I mean, like, what are the actual steps of transformation? Like, what does that
Right.
actually look like? And what does it actually mean to transform ourselves and our lives? And what type of life do we truly want to create? And how do we truly want to live? There's a very basic formula to this. And we just need to get clear on what those things are, what the steps are, and then simply just start to walk it. So
Mm,
that's what the program Self Mastery is, and that's basically
mm-hmm.
the vision of Golden Age. It's just to help people remember who they are and build a life that reflects their core values. And
Right.
that's always been my intention with ceremony as well. But now it's just
Mm-hmm.
I'm just applying that in a different way.
Yeah. So it's a 4 month program.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's modules then. So like self-paced, or is it not
So
self-paced?
I have one that's self-paced. I haven't released it to the public yet. Right now
Mm-hmm.
it's a group program. It's start any date. You can start at any time. Basically, we start by getting dialing up what your intention is, and then we just introduce you to the group, and we just get going with the goals. And
I
so it's a
see.
once a week we meet as a group, and
Okay.
this is a check-in. How's everybody doing? What are you working on?
Yeah.
Reframe, reassess, readjust, and then keep
Right.
going.
Yeah. And the self-mastery program too, like you said, that's 4 modules. And is there one-on-one coaching with you, or is it
So
all group?
self mastery, there's modules, but they're more. It's it's not necessarily modules that you follow step by step.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a 4 month container,
Mm-hmm.
weekly calls, group calls.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, alongside with there's a workbook that acts as a guide, helps you step by
Mm-hmm.
step.
Excellent. Are you offering any more permaculture courses in the future?
Permaculture, I felt the call to do that,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I just had to kind of come to the understanding that
Mm-hmm.
that's not my path to teach.
Oh, I see.
It's a part of my path, and it's a part of just who I am, and it's weaved in within what I do, my teachings. But I've been doing this healing work for about 15 years, and
Mm-hmm.
so this coaching work is just an extension of that. Whereas
Right.
permaculture, it's just I'm very very new with it,
Okay.
and yeah, it's a I don't think I'll ever teach as a permaculturist,
I was
but
excited about that because I had seen that course come through and I wanted to sign up so bad, but I
yeah,
wasn't just able to travel at that time. But
yeah,
that's something that I want to do here on this property. My mom and I have a very small acreage, and I
yeah,
love working with the land. So I thought that was
absolutely.
really beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the principles of permaculture that are the same with everything, right? It's just natural law,
Yes. Isn't that
right?
true? Yeah, because I really
Yeah,
love your video, The Cosmic Garbage Man.
that's right.
I
Yeah,
really enjoyed that. Yes. Yeah. And then just seeing the whole wood splitting thing. So if you ever need a
yeah,
wood splitter, call me up. We burn wood here too.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. And then the
Nice.
geodomes too. Is it all heated like the other property with the
No, we got wood stoves. Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah. We got the wood stoves.
Yeah, I actually show that video to a lot of clients as well. Yeah,
Mm,
the geodomes where you're walking through your garden and it's slightly raining.
Mm.
Wow, you should just see all I see from them. I watch them, I watch their body, and all I see is, I know. So I just want you to know, like, without you even really being fully aware, your message is landing with a lot of people in my circles.
Oh,
So,
that's so
yeah.
great to hear.
So
That's so
yes,
great to
we're
hear. Thank you.
definitely planning one of your trips to Peru. So are you able to share about that as well? Because I do have a lot of people ask me, how do I get to the medicine?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure I could probably send some resources on where to look. I mean, this
Hmm.
place in particular that we go to, they typically don't take new people.
I
Uh,
see. Okay.
yeah, yeah, it's they typically want people with experience.
I see. So I see. So your trips to Peru is more for you and your team, for facilitators.
No, not necessarily for facilitators.
Okay.
Typically people that have come sit with me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So I would be able to go?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep,
that's really important to me, right? Because like you said, there's just so many different facilitators.
yeah,
And I would love to stick with someone who I know and have been in your space.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And yeah, and they do their own application process as well. So like, you know,
Okay.
we will we screen and then once, you know, we go through our application process and then they go through theirs and then, you know, so ultimately they have to make the final call.
Okay. Yeah, well that's good information. Any final thoughts, Bryant? Like what do you want to tell the viewers? Because let me tell you, I get asked a lot of questions about this, and I felt like this was a perfect opportunity to get all of them answered.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you are feeling the call to sit with this medicine, then it's likely that you are, you know, you're feeling the actual medicine itself call you. Listen to that call, be patient with that call, check in with that call, and know that this plant is not something you should jump into lightly. No,
Mm-hmm.
this plant is a tool. It's used to it's meant to be used to aid you in your life and to help you heal, but also help you live a life that is in alignment with your highest potential. So you can I can put some resources, some sources that you can some trustworthy sources, and
That I can post publicly?
mhm,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah,
Please do. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then just you know just stay true to yourself, stay true to your vision, stay true to your path, and it's the small steps we take on a consistent basis. A lot of people get transformation mixed up, and they come to the medicine for that transformation, and then
Mm-hmm.
some people sometimes they leave disappointed because they fall back into the old habits. Whereas the transformation is the application of the daily application of these teachings. Like you could take the core teachings of ayahuasca and spend a lifetime embodying them, learning how to embody them. The
Yeah.
core teachings are live with gratitude, honor everything and everyone, and
Mm.
reach your fullest potential and share that with the world.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, I really do. I love that. And so, how can the viewers get a hold of you?
You find me on my Instagram at Bryant McRae, and or you can just email me directly, Bryant at bryantmcrae.com.
Excellent. Yeah, because I'm hoping to spread this word far and wide, you know.
Mm,
And also, too, Bryant, while we're here, are you, would you ever be interested in doing like a guest spot at the treatment recovery facility? Like if it was
for
just to
sure.
do like a half day workshop or
I would
just,
love that.
yeah,
I would love that.
okay.
I would
Yeah.
love that. Yeah,
Yes.
like I said, there's a lot of drug history in my family. I would love to
Hmm.
get back in whatever way I could.
Yeah, that would be incredible because my executive director has given me a budget.
Yeah,
It wouldn't happen anytime soon because we have this huge event happening in September. So it'd probably be after that. But
yeah,
maybe something into the new year, I'll reach out and just see if you're available and see
would love that.
you. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
We'll get them all dialed up.
yeah. Call on the brotherhood. That's
That's
why we're
that's right.
here. Awesome. Okay. Are you complete? Do you feel whole?
Yeah, I feel complete. Yeah, thank you so much for this. This was really fun and so great chatting with you.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. Thank you, Bryant.
Thank you, Rhonda.